We're rolling.
What's up? It's Sammy, the Spanish guy Gavar, and new TNT champion. And you, yes, you, right now are listening to the
Bob Culture Podcast.
Bob Culture Podcast.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Nothing between the lines of the page or right and right. Forgiveness is for angels, but this angel fell out of line. Lost in no second chance or redemption can be found. Taking care of the devil and the devil is running you down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a very special romantic episode of the BCP. Super excited for this one to welcome in two of my favorite guests. Let's be real. Hashtag cool kids table of all time. Please welcome in first. You know him as the head honcho of the HTW network. He is the best hugger on the planet, the one and only Mr. and hashtag wrestling fashion, Mr. Alex Watt. Alex, welcome in, man. How are you, bro?
What's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Hey.
Yeah.
Looking handsome today, my man.
Man,
As
thank
always.
you. I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm honored. Always so good to talk to you guys. And you guys, you know, he's a hashtag fave. He is hashtag Johnny Two Belts. He is the Funhouse Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the TCW Heavyweight Champion, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Johnny Moran. Johnny, what's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
It's good, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Shameless promo was just on your guys' show. Got a lot of good feedback, man. Like I said, it was free therapy.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, man. It was great. Guys, check out Moran N Friends, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I thought that was a lot of fun. And it's the first time I've been on the show in a while. I will say that I feel weird being on top of you, Johnny.
I'm up top here on my screen. Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Romantic, like I said. Best friends in the world. It was so cool chatting with you guys. But during that episode, we kind of talked a little bit, and I haven't said anything to anyone. Like, I tell Nunez everything. I didn't even tell him about this. Like, I was sworn to secrecy. We mentioned it a little bit on your podcast, kind of talking about a secret project HTW's got going on here. We talked a little bit about it being fourth wall breaking. I said it was something that everyone I felt needed to see in the business. I'm very excited about this, as you guys can tell. What can you give us so far? And I hear you guys might have a little sneak peek for us as well.
We're going to give you a lot tonight. We're going to give you where the concept came up from. So it originally started out at, what was the date we filmed it on, Alex?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to say August 28th, because it's the only day none of us got booked.
Yeah, so August 20th. Yeah, like I for the life of me, I couldn't find shows, and there was a bunch of my friends that couldn't find shows either. So I host a podcast called Moran N Friends. So all my friends that weren't on shows, I was like, hey, would you want to get together and do a show? And then how did the concept more of the Moran N Friends, the movie, because that's what it's called. We'll just announce that.
You said it. way to kill the bill.
I like it.
So yeah, it was like, hey, why don't we just do our own show? And as you know, like High Tension Wrestling, we've been wanting to do a show for a while, but I just think, like, what could we do? One, we needed a venue. Well, we got a venue, and thanks to the most amazing John Trotsky, we got to utilize the Sanctuary. And I figured, hey, if we're going to do a show, let's do something completely original, but let's also capitalize on the branding of Moran N Friends.
Yes.
And like, let's make it a movie, and let's write a script and have fun with this thing. And I think one of our selling points to go through with it was, I wanted to see if we could take things from the podcasts and make them pop in a story on a screen. Like, so one of the things, I'll just give it away, is like, Adam Chandler mentions in his podcast with Johnny about how every locker room, the promoter's telling you how this isn't any locker room. This locker room's a family. And
it's literally at every promotion you will ever go to. So
right. So in that
I get that over pretty well. I've seen it done a lot of times by different promoters. So I was like, why don't I try and do this myself?
Including myself. So in that podcast, I popped in there and I'm like, hey.
I mean it.
We are a family.
I mean it. He means it.
So we flipped the roles a little bit on Adam and made him support the family in the movie.
Mhm.
So now you can probably hear my dog whining in the background.
Okay.
But yeah, just a lot of fun like that. So we got together and we started. I think we booked it and then we wrote the script.
So the order it actually went was I was looking for a show, and then he suggested, he's like, why don't you run your own show? And I'm like, the first thing I was like, where am I going to run it? And then I'm like, well, let me see if John will let me use the Sanctuary for the day. So John Trotsky let me use the Sanctuary for the day. I already had like a bunch of friends that told me they didn't have shows. So when I came back and I was like, hey, you want to do this crazy thing that I want to do? They were all like, yes. Like nobody even like, because I was asking these people if they had shows for me to get on. So they were all like for getting on a show and doing a show. And then when I started explaining the concept of like the movie that's going to be kind of like a joke on like the stuff we deal with at wrestling shows, like in the backstage, that's when everybody was like, oh my God, I'm there. And they're like, can we curse? Can we say whatever we want? Like, can we make it like the actual backstage? And I'm like, yeah, man, like, let's make it as real as possible. So like, you're going to see some fun things in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
No, including a little bit of like scumbag Moran, a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, there's different Johnnies everywhere he goes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm very promoter-esque. I've studied some people. You know, I have some inspiration. I haven't been double-crossed before or anything like that. Like, I know what to study. I know what to pay attention to.
I think you guys did it perfectly. And I'm sure I know the answers to these questions because obviously, I was involved and thank you guys again for all the opportunities. But we mentioned a little bit of the fourth wall breaking, Johnny kind of talking about like taking things from the promoter. And I said this earlier, like I felt, again, it's not political, but I felt some of these things like the workers and myself, like this is my rookie year being behind the curtain, like would really appreciate. And I feel like the workers especially are going to appreciate this. So for everyone listening right now, they know you guys put on a show. They know that it's different. Like I know the answer to this one, but why is this different than a regular like wrestling program? I know the answer, but what can you tell them?
Alex, you want to take that one?
Okay. Yeah. This is different because it is usually the perspective is like what you intend the audience to see. Whereas this is what you don't intend the audience to see.
Exactly.
This is what you as a pro wrestler or somebody in the periphery of professional wrestling experience in the backstage. Mixed with a little, like obviously some scripting in there, but in all, it's a spoof on the reality of what you do experience. It's what the audience doesn't typically get to see. So that's why it's different. And I think everybody, the target audience, just like I feel like the target audience for the Moran's podcast is people who work in wrestling. Sure, the audience is going to enjoy it, and anybody who like loves or knows Johnny is going to enjoy it, or the other wrestlers, because you like to learn about people. Yeah. But the people who really get it are the people that are in the business, because I think that's the target audience. But everyone can enjoy.
Yeah. Well, just like the podcast and just like the movie, like I wanted to give like a real perspective, like you know what I mean. Like sometimes, like I'll have people on, we don't talk about wrestling until like 45 minutes in or like an hour in. Like we're just talking, like Trajan Horn I always bring up as an example. We talked about concerts and what he does at concerts and like staying overnight and everything
with people,
showering with people like for 45 minutes. Killian, we talked about like Disney and movies and video games. Yeah. A lot of other things too, like shows.
Yeah, I love it. It's funny. Like I said, like just from being in the business, I really, really I appreciated you doing this. And that's another reason I didn't say anything to anyone, because I didn't want anyone to rip it off. It's such a fresh, great idea. I love what you guys are doing. I'm so glad we're finally able to talk about this. What do you guys think? Is it time? Should we give them a little? I think Alex put a little something together. Can we show the people? Is it time?
Yeah.
Be forewarned. There is harsh language, but enjoy.
There's 2 F-bombs. We're going to say it now. 2 F-bombs. 2.
All right. You guys have been warned. Check it out. Little trailer from Moran N Friends, the movie. Let's check it out.
What do you think of this? Moran N Friends, the movie.
Break it. You bought it.
Hey, where the hell is the water? Bob Culture, my favorite podcaster.
This locker room is bigger than a locker room. It's a family.
Anthony Blackwell, my favorite podcaster, man. Hey!
Oh.
You shut the fuck up, I'm trying to cut a promo.
I just met a wrestler, the greatest wrestler in the world.
Done a lot of really cool fucking things.
All right. And guys, check it out. Shameless promo. Let's get that out of the way. I have so many questions real quick. Where's everyone going to be able to find this, watch this, check this out, all that good stuff?
So this initially we wanted to throw it up on IWTV, and then we waited and it just hasn't panned out. And then we thought, hey, you know what? Let's give it to everybody for free. The podcast is for free, and also I think it's a good way to just introduce people to this new brand, which is HTW Originals. It's a concept for movies involving professional wrestling or movies with wrestlers, which is the ambition. But February 20th, exclusively on our YouTube channel, the HTW Network YouTube.
Guys, smash that subscribe button. Johnny, I want to ask you this, man, because we get a different Johnny Moran. You know, you're very versatile everywhere you work. Obviously, you guys had a big hand in writing this. You're obviously the lead kind of, we kind of see like you doing some of them promoter things we're talking about. And this isn't a knock, it's just kind of the things that we deal with. It's respectful, but I think a lot of these things need to be said. We see this Johnny Moran who's like, oh, you're my favorite podcaster. Hey, my favorite podcaster. I died at that in the trailer. We see Big Dust singing. Shameless promo. Dust is going to be on the show in a couple weeks to promote the movie as well. I'm so excited. He's amazing. Awesome. He is a national treasure, former #wrestling fashion winner. That being said, Johnny, tell us about this Johnny Moran in this movie as much as you want to give away, because I'm a fan. I popped so many times for a lot of the lines.
Well, I'm a slimy promoter, but then I kind of like switch back to like my normal self, and like you get to see like our friendship, me and Alex together. I don't want to give too much away though, because if I keep talking about it, you're going to lose a lot of stuff. But you get to see the real me too in there. Actually, the day of the show, I literally ran a roaming cam the entire show. Like any entrance you see, I filmed that. Like I literally was walking down the entranceway, and I'm sure in like the back of shots, you're going to see me like holding a camera, because I was literally filming this the entire day. Plus, like if I wasn't filming a skit, like John Trotsky was filming a skit, or Alex was filming a skit, or we'd be producing or directing a skit, like it was a very long day. Like what we got there at 11:30, we didn't get there out of there until like 9 or 7.
It was pretty late.
Yeah.
Well,
because our photographer friend Paige Watchie, that came out of the kindness of her heart, she had another show to get to, and so did our referee. Like it was right down the wire.
And so did our ring announcer.
That's how it is.
So did like 3 or 4 of the wrestlers, because I don't know, time management.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Johnny.
Yeah, well, I really thought like we could fit all this in from like, what did I say, 11 to 4.
You thought you could do this in 4 hours? That's just insanity, man. I mean, I'm not coming down on you, because I would never, right?
Yeah.
But
Let's talk about this though, because like even in the promos that you guys shoot, or if like Alex is behind the camera and like talking to you, like anything you guys do, like I always joke romance of the year, that, but like I love your guys' relationship. I love your dynamic in this movie. Real talk, taking it back, the interviewer in me wants to know the origin story. Johnny and
this
Alex.
Is actually funny.
How did this happen?
So do you want me to take this, or you want to take it?
Listen, so like I remember the first time ever I saw you.
Are we talking? Wait, all right, so here, hang on.
It was love at
but
first
it
sight.
actually wasn't the first time I ever saw you.
Yeah, so the first time he saw me, like we never met. Like he came and saw me at PPW. Who was the name that you were coming to see?
I think it was DDP.
Yes.
Oh wow.
It was the DDP show. So at that time, I was a part of a team called the Mighty Militia, and we had light up shoes. And like now, mind you, we've been friends for probably 2-3 years now. And he
when this happened.
Yeah. So when he told me he saw me before this, so he's like, man, like I went to PPW like way before I met you, like way back. I think to see like DDP. He goes, and then he goes, besides DDP, he's like, I remember this tag team. They had like light up shoes, and I'm like, you're kidding, right? And then he's like,
I was like,
what?
no, they were awesome.
Yeah, no, like you should have seen these guys' shoes. And I'm like, that was me, you idiot. So
nice.
Go back a little bit.
That's the first time I saw him.
That's technically the first time he ever saw me.
Yeah.
Then the first time we ever met, he used to work for Wicked Turtle Productions at PPW doing podcasts.
Don't tell people that.
And the promoter came up to me and was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast? Little did the promoter know, like, that's like literally all I do at work. While I'm at work, I have a podcast on it. I always listen to podcasts. So I'm like, oh wow, like I get to be on a podcast and they're gonna be here. Like am I gonna wear the headphones? I was like so nerdy about it. And like then I just strolled up to them and I was like, hi guys, hello, how is everything?
Oh yeah,
my name's
it was
Johnny
funny
Moran.
because you had like that same beard but thicker.
Bigger.
Yeah.
I had a bigger version of this beard.
Yukon Cornelius style.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
nice.
the promoter's like, yeah, interview Johnny, and so we did. We interviewed Johnny, and we ended up interviewing him like every month for like ever, because he's a bit of an attention whore now, but he was actually leading up to winning one of his illustrious titles, and so we wanted to stick with that story. And at some point, Johnny starts texting me and hitting me up, bugging me as to, hey, when's this interview coming out? When is this coming out? When are you putting this out? And
yeah,
that became like me and Johnny started to talk every day type of thing. And then our conversations went from, geez Louise, dogs.
It's a territory thing. He knows your best friend, Johnny. So.
Yeah, he's getting real upset about this.
So it became us talking about professional things to us talking about personal things, and we just became really, really good friends, if not the bestest of friends these days. So,
and then somewhere in the middle of that, I got my own, like they gave me like 3 minutes to just like interview anybody on the show. So I would always find someone that I was friends with on the show, and I was like, hey, I'm going to interview. And they used to call it, originally it was the Man Minute, and then Becky Lynch obviously took the man. So like, I'm no longer Johnny Moran. So we turned it to Moran Minute, and I did that. And then when he, stopped working with Wicked Turtle, I got my own show on the High Tension Network.
That's right.
We all got that upgrade.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say upgrade, but like we started doing our own things, and it's a lot of fun.
It's amazing what you guys do. I think it was one of those like Step Brothers things. Did we just become best friends? That's the way I see it in my head. And you guys are awesome. Again, like I always say that, like, thank you guys so much for always being like very welcoming to me. And I'm proud to call you guys friends, and I love what you guys are doing. That being said, I want to talk about you getting together, you had that wide shot in the trailer of all this talent obviously wanting to be a part of it. I want to talk about the response that you got from them when you guys are making this thing, because I appreciate it as a rookie in this business, or after my rookie year. I want to know, like, first of all, like how you decided to pick who you picked. Like Dust, come on, that's man's a national treasure. That's gold. And what their kind of response was while you guys were filming this.
Well, it literally came out of those messages when I was messaging around looking for shows, and Killian was originally supposed to be on the show. And then he was like, do you mind if I bring the goons along? I'm like, we'll just make the whole show. Literally, like,
they're great.
The original script was like, what? It was literally like a goon in every match. And then like slowly, like they all kind of either, one of them may have had a COVID scare or what.
Sure. Yeah.
So we had to replace people, and a lot of the matches did get changed around, just because of like things like that, like because it was during COVID time, so like like Tommy Vex was exposed, and he didn't thankfully get COVID, but like we filmed on Saturday, like the Friday, someone that he worked with right next to him, so he's got something that you should watch the end of my movie for. So make sure you stick after the credits for a little scene that we have.
There's so much good stuff. Like, this isn't giving anything away because we saw a little bit in the trailer. When Dust is kind of, because first of all, the goons, they're amazing. Feud of the year with Erica, they were doing some great stuff with the cinematics. So them working with you, I knew it would be a home run. But you kind of see, like, he's just like, it's like, whose line is it anyway? It's like he's kind of riffing. They're doing like the acapella a little bit in that trailer. We saw that. I'm excited for everyone to see how that all plays out. But how much? Because obviously this is your baby, you obviously director, you guys working together. How much like improv was there in this? Because I feel like those guys, like the likes of them and like Erica, are very good at that kind of stuff. Like, how much improv was there compared to like direction? Because every talent I know to work with is different.
I would say we had an open. I give people kind of an open window. I give you bullet points, and then
that's the best.
So we scripted out the show.
Yeah.
Talked about them. Little bits of general dialogue and stuff, but nothing that had to be followed. It was kind of like here's the scene.
The vibe.
Yeah, this is what you're saying. This is what you're saying. Make it your own. Or if you have an idea that fits, that can evolve it, which is what happened. Like the Flatmates, their story evolved the day of. We had a loose idea of how their story interlaced throughout the whole thing, but then they came up with ideas to make it better, and that's what happened. We had a general idea for Dust to do a little sing-song thing. In fact, I was over ambitious and had so many people singing. I had a full musical number. It was supposed to be
Johnny Moran the musical.
Right. Yeah, it was supposed to be what was it? It was Big Dust sings, and he's walking past J.S. Hawthorne, who then is just like looking at him, and then he starts singing his way onto the ring to have his way with Andy Header, which was supposed to be the match that didn't happen because J.S. couldn't make it. But then it was going to be this whole montage, including a musical scene where I helped Johnny put his coat on.
Oh yeah. It wasn't that tie in the West Side Story too?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was I Feel Pretty, right?
Yes. As we look into a mirror, yes.
Yeah.
You guys heard it here first. Putting this out into this world, when we manifest things in this business, Johnny Moran or Moran N Friends, the musical, putting it out there. Alex is like,
I'm
a lot of production.
Oh my God, he's been 100% for something like that.
Maestro has to like really chip in on this one, but yeah, I'm into it.
I know people. I know some musicians. So, so we talked about this a little bit off air. I'll put it in your guys' words. You working together. I know you guys want to talk a little bit about the creative chicanery, I believe, as you guys put it. What was it like? Because obviously being friends and working together, sometimes it's always tricky. I've been in bands and stuff, a lot of friends. Wrestling again has been very, very good. And I'm new, so I'm always very respectful. You guys, I'm sure at times have different visions. different things going on. Like, what was it like kind of, going from that friend line to being directors and production together?
Aside from one incident, I thought it was really a good experience.
You have to, you can't give away too much on this, because if you give too much away, then
I'll give just enough away. But like, I felt like working with you was really, really good, because we mostly knew the vision going in, and when we knew what we needed to film, we were organized pretty much and ready to go, or at least when we were going to film a scene, we knew what had to be done and how to explain that. And then also like having John there to help us with the cinematography of the camera was just so good. But I didn't really have a bad experience with you at all. And it lets me know that like I can work with you really well, but you may not be able to work with me very well because I become temperamental because I directing, I take seriously, very seriously. And I get in these modes where I have those horse blinder on. Yeah. So like, I can't see, usually in a typical like forum, I can see like how things all work together and how like, like a GPS, like reroute. But not when I'm directing based off of a script. I'm like, this has to be this way and only this way. We can't figure this out. It just has to be this way. So we had a tiff.
So a match got turned into a triple threat. But what stems from this, Mike Skyros and Devontis, I didn't know we decided on a winner or who the winner was.
Yeah.
So they both come up to me and they're like, who's winning? And like, what do you want from us? I'm like, I want you guys wanted this match. Like they wanted to wrestle each other. Like they wanted to work each other. So Skyros was originally with Killian and Killian couldn't make it. So I'm like, whatever, if you want Devontis and you guys do whatever you want, I don't care. And then they go, well, who do you want over? I'm like, I don't care. Like whatever you guys want to enjoy this as much as possible. So whatever you want. So they decided on completely opposite of whoever Alex had underlined. So that match, when you watch it, that's not the finish that Alex wanted. So then in
reality,
match,
it didn't matter.
No,
like didn't matter to the story who won that match. To me,
that's why like I like it. I was like, it doesn't matter. So then we have another match that kind of gets put together, and I'm going to kind of blow this one in a skit. It's a triple threat, and that match got completely changed like 3 times. So when those guys came up to me, I'm like, whoever. I don't know. Like this match like wasn't even written down like originally. Like it wasn't supposed to be a triple threat. I'm like, so whoever you want to put over. It doesn't matter to me. So if you pay attention in the triple threat, I will give you one of the participants' names. His name is Andy Heder. When he gets in the ring, you will see Alex walk over to him and ask him, hey, who's winning this? And he says another competitor. And Andy is supposed to be the one that Alex wants to win. So you literally just see Alex like go like this and like turn away and just walk off screen. Yeah. And like he wasn't supposed to be in the shot at all.
Walking off screen, I'm just like.
And then he proceeds to come over while I'm holding a camera and yell at me in my ear, telling me that I screwed up the whole movie. The whole movie's ruined. It's going downhill. Like we can't recover from this.
It's like Johnny. So
I was like,
so
I'm sorry.
nicely.
It's my fault.
I was like, listen, I'm sorry. I messed up. It's my fault. I'm like, well, it doesn't freaking matter now, does it?
Yeah.
And then like, I went back to my seat and I'm like, oh, I'm such a jerk. Like, I gotta go to pause.
It really was my fault. Like when I'm at fault, I always take ownership. So like, I was like, I told them whoever, I don't care. So I knew whose fault it was.
Yeah. End of the day, like these didn't matter. And
exactly.
I couldn't get out of my head about it.
I'm the same way. I get it, bro. And at the end of the day, like, you know, as much as you guys like, you know, are breaking the fourth wall and poking fun and a little tongue in cheek, like we talked about earlier. It's not political, but even you guys telling that story, like I won't go into detail or who or where, but like this is stuff that happens. There was I was not in the ring in any form or fashion. I was working in another capacity. I'll put it this way. And there was a rumble going on and someone needed to do something for the rumble and they needed to check in with something. So I was going like kind of back and forth, like kind of talking. I'm like, this isn't like, I don't know anything about this. And like, it was like 4 trips between me and like you know how the refs are like outside and I'm like trying to be inconspicuous and like, what is this? And what time? And what's this? Like, what's the spot? And like, so I kind of get it, you know, it's like while everything's happening and I'm just like, I'm like, every time, like, I feel like they were getting mad at me. I'm like, I'm just the messenger. Like, I have no, like, so I get it, man. It's kind of perfect. And that's exactly what this movie is it's showing a little bit. And again, that's why I don't want to like tell anyone about it because it's so unique, guys. Again, like, please check this out. Fans, check this out. Workers, check this out. It's amazing. I do want to talk about one name that keeps coming up during all this. A guy I haven't met yet, a guy I'm a little scared to meet, Mr. John Trotsky. We've talked about him a little bit on former interviews. Johnny, he was a big part of this. He's done some great, amazing just camera work like I've never seen before. His persona in this is like, do I want to meet this guy? But I it's very interesting, man. I'm excited to meet him one day. Tell us what it's like working with him and his role in this.
He wasn't acting. Was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So it like the Steve Mack promo, like a lot of people
chef's kiss.
Yeah. Not only Alex on the editing, but like, you know, John made that really easy for Alex to edit. Like that was John filming that entire thing.
I've never seen anything like it.
So he, you know, he's a stunt man. He was a professional wrestler too. But like currently he's a stunt man. So he's on movie sets. So like he looks for how the camera guy is moving and how the camera guy is working, like while he's on these movie sets. And then he brings that to the sanctuary. Like the guys that he has working on camera for the sanctuary, like he literally sits there and I wish we could show you the like first like dark match we did because I filmed that. And while I'm filming that, like it's bad. Like I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I'm holding a gimbal because that's what they use at the sanctuary. And he literally comes over and he like grabs my wrist and he's like behind me and he's like, don't move your arm. He's like, move your body. Like move your entire body. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember sitting in my spot, like, and when he did that, I smiled because I'm like, oh man, like he's investing in what we're doing, and like for him to be to me like who he is, like that meant a lot to me. Like, I really did, and like I felt like that was the day that like I forged my bond with Trotsky, and like I absolutely love the guy, and so like yeah, that was a very special day in general.
Yeah. And like literally he was there and like he has a very bad back. He had an injury during wrestling. So that's why he doesn't really wrestle anymore. And like you'll see him like come out for like one match a year, maybe at that, like if that. And like he was like, you could tell like he was at the end of the day, like he was in a lot of pain. So like I can't thank him enough for being there all day with us. Cause like he like because there were shots that I needed him to film because I couldn't film them. Like the end of the ring sequence when it's me and Alex in the ring, I can't film that. You know what I mean? Like I had to have him film it.
Yeah, that Johnny versus Alex ladder match, that was insane. You guys went nuts. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing. We talked about this a little bit on your show, Johnny, so I hope it's okay. And I can edit this if not. We talked about the commentary a little bit. Very, very grateful for the opportunity to get to work with Anthony, who's also phenomenal. We talked about this on your show a little bit, so I hope it's okay to talk about here.
Oh, no, that's completely fine.
And Alex, we have literally done this in real life where we've had to do commentary after the fact or replace commentary for certain reasons. You know that story. He's like, no comment. But
we don't talk about that.
Wrestling, everybody. That being said, though, I thought it was perfect for what you guys are doing here. And when you guys see the movie, you'll totally understand. But tell us about the thought process going in, because like you're putting together a show, you know, ring announcing, production, the roster. Now you need commentary in some form and fashion. I don't know who canceled on you, but you brought me in for some reason. Man, tell us a little bit about that.
You were from the gate. Literally, you were from the gate. I wanted you on my commentary.
I feel like at that time you and Johnny had a bit of a relationship. I think we just kind of like knew of each other at this time. But like he really had like a good relationship with you, and we both have a relationship with Blackwell, and you both were kind of getting started in your commentary thing, and you both are really good at what you guys are doing, so like it was just like a no-brainer that it was like, hey, let's do Anthony, and he's like, yeah, let's get Rob in there as well. And then the concept of like, well, these guys are coming and helping us, like, and they've got plenty of better things to do, like they're sponsoring Moran N Friends, you know. So like the official sponsors of the Moran N Friends of the movie are the BCP, Bob Culture Podcast, and the Tornado Tag Podcast as well, which was Andy Header was in a match. Brian was there with roaming Cam helping out, and Anthony was on the mic as well.
Now, originally, we wanted to do the commentary live. Well, Alex definitely wanted it live.
I didn't realize that was a bad idea.
I was completely against it because I wanted you guys to be clued in. So here's another thing for Moran N Friends. Every skit goes into a match. So there's a backstory for every match. So it's literally a story for every single match. And I wanted you guys to see that. And like Blackwell didn't see any, like Blackwell was the day of filming. He didn't see any of those skits. And that's what I kept saying to Alex. I'm like, you're just going to get commentary on
the match itself.
The match itself, not the story that was built. And I'm like, I really think we should do it in post. And it was kind of perfect because you couldn't get the day off of work. So like I was like, yes, this is forced now.
Yeah. I feel less guilty now. Okay.
No, but it worked. It
helped elevate the product. And that's what I love. I've never been a part of a production, whether it be like Camp Leapfrog or anything that we've done with High Tension, especially this, is that when things go wrong, when you find a way to work around that issue to fix it, somehow it feels like it enhanced the product. And that's what happened here. Like everything that went wrong ended up enhancing the project. So like it was better. And then like, with Camp Leapfrog, if somebody called out, we had to replace them. I felt like it went better. I'm not going to say who.
So sometimes that's how it goes. It's very, like I always say, hashtag wrestling, hashtag indie wrestling. And that's the fun of it, man. You know, I've never been like a theater kid or like a drama kid. Like I've been a performer in bands and stuff. But like I always say, I love working with you guys and meeting you all and seeing what everyone, like the happy accidents and all the things that happened during production. So it's amazing to see. I did want to ask you guys this one. I'm teasing you about Moran N Friends, the musical. I'm just putting that out there. Do you guys think there will be a follow-up to this? And who would you guys like to work with if there is a follow-up?
Well, I mean, there may be a Moran N Friends.
No comment.
Like, because, man, it was a long day. Sometimes think as a wrestler, I take for granted the promoter aspect of, especially like with a vision like that, where you want like a skit leading into every match and every match has to have a story. Like me and him literally had to like micromanage like almost everything. Like there was a couple things that like those two matches that the endings were changed, but like nothing else, like, and like I gave people like freedom to just do whatever they want in their match. Like I just, told them who's over, and if they wanted,
that's fine, that's mostly that's fine. Like of course you want good wrestling on your show, but like story is king. Like anybody that is booked on a wrestling show should be able to wrestle and should be able to construct a good match. but like not everybody can tell a good story. Not everybody can cut a good promo, and that's what you're looking for. That's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
No, I agree. So
Yeah.
to answer to Moran and Friends 2, we'll see how the premiere goes. We'll see. I'm not going to say no. We'll see how the premiere goes.
It's happening.
Smart answer. I'll be sharing it everywhere. And I do want to say this, man. I feel like it's something that needed to be done. Like, again, total like comedic aspects, totally really good storyline in it. Like, follow the main storyline, guys. Some great writing, some great wrestling, some so-so commentary. But you guys do some really great stuff. And I've said this many, many times on here and on your podcast. I feel like a little bit, not that it's like political or anything, but a little bit of it needed to be said on behalf of the workers. You know, I always say, like, if I'm doing the BCP, the only company hat I'm wearing is Bob Culture Podcast. You know, if I'm working Titan, I'm wearing the Titan hat. If I'm working Magic hat. Like, that's how it is. But I think a lot, and this isn't a knock on anyone, I just feel like a lot of times, even on the national level, a lot of these promoters, they feel like they have some sort of ownership of the talent. And you're all independent contractors. I always say that. I say that over and over again on the show. And I'm always very respectful of that. So a lot of the promoter stuff here, I think, is great. I think a lot of it needed to be said. And I think it was tastefully done. I think it's perfect. So excuse this question. Do you think it might rub anyone the wrong way? I don't think it will. I think it was perfect. I think it needed to be done. I'm glad someone did it. Do you think it might rub anyone the wrong way?
No. I mean, if you watch the show, the heels on Stars, like it's that, but imagine that with comedy. Like, I feel like we have way more comedy in it. Like theirs is real serious.
Oh my gosh, great show. Definitely plug that. But
fantastic show.
No, there's definitely, I'm sure there's people we could have shot on or told like stories about if we wanted to, and I'm sure I'm positive that these things came up when we were writing the script, and then we're like, you know what, best not to do that. That's not professional. Let's keep it lighthearted. Let's keep it fun. Let's have our small moments of drama, but are mostly comedy and breaking that fourth wall and telling the stories of the professional wrestler in a lighthearted way. Like, nothing gets too serious here. I don't think anybody's gonna get rubbed the wrong way. No.
I think they'll laugh, to be honest. I think like the promoters are appreciated, because like coming out of bands and stuff, like promoter has such a negative connotation a lot of the time. And I just think everything you guys did with this, like, again, it was very tasteful, very fourth wall, very tongue in cheek. I think the workers will really appreciate it. I have said nothing because I don't want anyone to like copy this. Like, I want to see how this grows and evolves. I'm very excited for the debut. Let's get that plug in there one more time. And let's get, if you guys have any like last pitches or anything you want to tell the audience that wants to check this thing out, shameless promo.
Yeah, man. Like this is like the first project under the HTW Originals banner. So it's like a brand within a brand, like Leapfrog, High Tension Wrestling, HTW Originals, all the podcasts that we do, which is basically just Moran N Friends and Tommy Talks Tape at the moment. All that is under the guise of HTW Network. So this is our first HTW Originals, which is very much movie cinematic centric. And this is kind of like our Clerks, man. It's like just not as good. It's not saying that this is the best first movie ever made, but this is the proof of concept. This is like, look, we know what we can improve upon for the next one. And we know that we can do this now. And it was a lot of fun. And we realized that, like, hey, we can do this. I can write, I can direct, I can produce. Johnny, all those same things, writing, directing, producing.
Yes.
Not to mention like the networker, because all of his friends are in the damn movie.
Yeah.
But proof of concept, man. Excited for this, excited for people to see it. And I've test screened it a little bit with like close friends and family. And I'm not watching for that oh, hey, great job, man. You can't believe that, right? But what I am watching is I'm like, are they laughing at the jokes? Are they getting the jokes? Are they Hansel and Greteling, like picking up the breadcrumbs throughout? And are they understanding the story and how it threads? And so far, everybody's gotten everything we intended for them to get and felt what we wanted them to feel. Even people who don't watch wrestling. So this was a lot of fun for me, and I'm excited for everybody to see it.
Yeah, I second that.
And shameless promo, if you guys are looking for, I know a lot of great people in the area, but if you're looking for great production for your event, hire Alex and his team. They do a phenomenal job. I love not only working with Alex, but getting to sit next to him at every show is pretty cool. Getting his feedback. He keeps us on task and on point. Him and his team do a phenomenal job. So reach out to them, hire HCW Network. They do a phenomenal job. Like I always tell you, you make Titan look so amazing. Even the little things you do with the logos and all the editing, phenomenal work. I'm totally going out of order here, but I did want to ask this one before we get out of here. What were some of the influences that went into making this movie? Because I see a little bit of Whose Line in there with the improv. I see a little bit of like The Office. I see a little bit, obviously, of wrestling. Like, where did you guys pull from when you put this together? Because you guys knew what you wanted to do. It's something, again, completely different, which I'm so excited for. Like, what were the influences?
For me, it was pulling stories out of my podcast, because that was his idea. He was like, why don't we pull from the podcast? Because like everybody I messaged was on the podcast already, or was coming up on the podcast. And when I started out at the Sanctuary, we kind of used to do this, like very much so. Like we've kind of gotten away from it. At the Sanctuary, we used to literally, John would be the one running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and he wouldn't even talk to people. That's when everybody used to call him a jerk or a douche, because like somebody would come over to him and he'd be like, I got to film something, get off, like F off, like, and just walk right past you. And if he's in film mode, that's how he is. But we used to do this at the Sanctuary where it was a skit match, skit match, skit match. And then even sometimes a skit after the match if we needed it. And I really wanted to bring that back. And I was kind of hoping that filming this bug at the Sanctuary would get John to get that bug back in. And at one point we were filming, he's like, I don't care about the matches anymore. He's like, I just want to film more skits. He's like, I miss filming skits like this. I'm like, we should bring it back to the Sanctuary. I'm not saying I'm giving you ideas, but I'm just saying if we could get back to this more, I'd enjoy it a heck of a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I fell in love with at the Sanctuary. Like when Maestro and I got invited to do some like hosting and backstage skits. Like that was so fun because every wrestling show I go to, they don't do it. And like as part of like a production team, like we offer it. Like, you want to go film some stuff? Let's go. Let's enhance your product. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want your show to be WWE. You know what I mean? Like backstage skits, scenes, interviews. Let's go. And the fact that like that was my first like performance at the Sanctuary, like I fell in love with it, man. Like that, I can't put that over enough. Like there's Bob Culture, there's Tornado Tag sponsoring this, but like who hosted Moran N Friends the movie? Their logo is right on the poster. It's the Sanctuary. Like this couldn't have happened without the Sanctuary at all. And we probably would have been inspired without what the Sanctuary has started.
Literally, that's kind of where like a lot of my ideas come from, is because like that, I mean, John helped train me, like, and that's how he used to structure his show. So I literally just took that concept, pulled stuff from my podcast, and that's what you have. It's basically a little bit of John Trotsky, a little bit of Alex Watt, a little bit of Johnny Moran, and mix it all together. I know
Trotsky did say like he probably wouldn't have been as open to letting us do it. Then he's like, but you guys came to me with a script and a plan, and you guys knew what you were going to do and you were prepared. So like he took the chance on us, and it was really cool.
Yeah. So John Trotsky, thank you. Hopefully you watch this.
Absolutely.
I'll tag him in a shameless promo.
Yeah. Please
and speaking of which, we're all about that shameless promo here on the BCP. Alex, hit them one more time with where and when they can watch. Also plug your social media. Then we'll throw it to Johnny and plug all your socials.
Oh man, it's been so long since I've done one of these. So let me just take a little bit of a breath. All right, you can catch me on all social media at Real Kilowatt on all of them, on the Facebook, on the Instagram, on the Twitter. I'm not really on the Twitter a lot. I turned off the notifications because it's like, oh my goodness. And then High Tension Wrestling High Tension Wrestling Network Productions, HTW Originals, Camp Leapfrog, all that. Well, Camp Leapfrog has its own thing. I Camp Leapfrog, which is a bit on like it's on hiatus, but maybe it'll come back soon. I don't know. Check out springtime when things get warmer and we can be outside again.
Yeah.
Right. But HTW Network on all social media, that is at High Tension HTW. So check us out. And like you said, we provide production services. We get commentary. We have a 3-camera setup, 2 roaming, 1 hard. I do a crap ton of edits to make your stuff look super, super nice. You know, you like quality, you got to pay for it. So what are you going to do? You know, just got to be honest about that. So that's me. I'm going to stop occupying the time. I do want to name drop Paige Watchy Photography. Big help. Her photographs are going to be coming out on social media. We're going to be dropping trading card style talent announcements. If you want to show yours right now, I sent it to you.
I will patch it in. I'll patch it in for sure.
Every Pokemon card set has a shiny, right? A holographic with a cool background design. And sir, you're one of them, along with John Traske when his comes out.
Wait, I have photos?
Not you.
I was like, I didn't even get a photo taken.
Am I pointing down? I meant to. I don't know.
We're all in different orders. You know, you're really messing this plug up.
The Bob Culture is a shiny holographic version. Except it's not shiny. It's just got a cool background.
Limited edition.
Yeah. Okay. It's a 1 of 1.
Yeah, that's right.
But
the one no one wants. Yeah.
It's a
holographic. Everybody wants a holographic, man.
Yeah, everyone wants them. So yeah, we'll drop that after this podcast. We'll drop that on our social medias. That'll be the beginning of the daily release of talent announcements, and yeah, it'll be a lot of good fun.
Love it, man. Appreciate you. Let's throw it over to Mr. Johnny Two Belts over here, the Titan Championship Wrestling Funhouse champion. He's got all the belts. He's fighting KTB. I'm excited for that one, February 12th. Monster Among Men. Titan Championship Wrestling.
About that.
That's gonna be a good one, bro.
Yeah, I'm really the dark horse in that one because I feel like a lot of people got their money on KTB. So
I got you.
I will be the actual dark horse that day. So come see me at Titan February 12th. But I want to say again, a Moran and Friends the movie, February 20th. Are we doing 6 p.m., Alex?
I feel that way it's over before any primetime television.
6 p.m.
You want to also 20th. You also want to watch Your Righteous Gemstone, so we don't want you to miss that.
Yes.
So
watch that after.
Yeah, absolutely. So watch us and then watch Daniel McBride.
So 6 p.m. on the High Tension Network on YouTube.
Right. And we'll share it everywhere. We'll share it everywhere.
Yes.
And also, I'm not going to give you the details right now, but we're going to do like a little like giveaway contest. So that like if you're subscribing, commenting on the video the day of or the week of, we'll be giving tickets away to certain shows in Jersey, and we will be giving away. I think we have signed scripts for the movie.
We do. So, we do. Awesome. Hold on. Time out. Do we have time? We're telling this story because this is the one. This tested our friendship.
Oh no.
This really tested our friendship.
I want the tea.
So, all right, these signed scripts, please, whatever the contest is, these are the most valuable things that we have ever had in our lives. So, Alex stayed at a hotel.
What could have been free merch became a very costly endeavor.
Very expensive merch. He was so dedicated, he got himself a hotel. And he stayed at it. So I picked him up and drove him to the sanctuary. And he gets home, like we're done filming all that. And he goes, "Oh man, I left the scripts in the hotel." And I'm like, "Well, guess we lost them." And then, when your friend just gets like kind of quiet and he's like, "But we could do really cool things with those scripts, like a contest and like maybe a giveaway." And then he starts making me feel bad because he's saying it in that tone. Yeah. And I'm like, "Well, your hotel's 20 minutes from my house. I'll go there tomorrow." I'm like, I'll go there. So just like tell these people I'm coming, whatever. I get there. No idea what we're talking about.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no clue. Like this lady like refuses to search. Like she's like, there's nothing here. I'm like, whatever. Fine. Call him. I'm like, hey, your scripts aren't there. So then he goes, oh, all right. Well, the manager said he had them and he put them away in this whatever, wherever. So I'm like, all right, well, call him. I'll come back. I think I was going to the sanctuary the following like week. So I'm like, I'll go there Sunday when I go to the sanctuary. Go there. And the manager's like, oh, we don't have a key to the office. It must be in the office, but it was like right there on the desk. And she's like, we don't have a key to the office. I can't get it. And I'm like, I literally called him. I'm like, I'm done. I don't care how much these are worth. Like, they're done.
That's
Forget
fair.
it. And then he finally had to drive from all the way where he lives, like an hour and a half away, to get these scripts. So they are very expensive scripts. So whatever the
What a guy.
Get in.
They did have it. They had it right at the front desk the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Took me 3 trips.
Yeah.
Hey, but you got them. So they're super valuable, guys. Make sure you comment on that video. Check it out. Oh, and John, before we get out of here, hit everyone with your social media real quick so people can follow you.
I'm Johnny Moran the Wrestler on Facebook. I am Johnny Moran the Wrestler on YouTube. I'm Johnny Moran _ on Instagram and Twitter. I have a TikTok. I don't use it. I just creep. So I'll be honest with you. Maybe I'll make a TikTok one day, like an actual TikTok, but all I do is watch weird stuff on there.
Yeah, I haven't gone down that rabbit hole either, though. But it's the way of the world, man.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it. So
you know what? I'll do it if you guys are in my first TikTok video, and we'll probably have to be dancing because that's what people do, right? So
I'm gonna retweet it or whatever.
Yes.
I'll retalk it and then I'll share it to mine. So then
February 12th, this is happening. We're dancing, baby.
We're doing
the
official TikTok. I love it.
I'm so down.
Guys, always honored to talk to you and hang out with you guys in any form or fashion. I appreciate y'all. I'm excited for Moran and Friends, the movie that's going to be February 20th at 6 p.m. EST on YouTube. Guys, make some comments, share it everywhere. You could win some signed scripts that are super valuable. Support Moran and Friends. Comment 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. Gentlemen, always awesome to talk to you. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks and just continue success moving forward. Thank you guys so much.
You too. Thank you.
All right, guys. And like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out. Peace.